Hi everyone, I am JULKA. Today in Limits Part 2, we will discuss question of limits based on trigonometry. Always remember three basic formulas: limit x tend to 0 sin x upon x, limit x tend to 0 cos x, and limit x tend to 0 tan x upon x, all equals to 1. Now we'll solve some question based on these formulas. Example 1. Evaluate limit x tend to 0 sin 3x upon x. Here we need sin 3x upon 3x. So we will divide by 3 and multiply by 3. And we will get limit x tend to 0 sin 3x upon 3x multiplied by 3. And the answer is 1 multiplied by 3 equals to 3. Next example. Evaluate limit x tend to 0 tan ax upon bx. Here we need tan ax upon ax. So first of all, we'll take b common and limit x tend to 0 tan ax divide by x. So we'll divide by a and multiply by a, and now we have limit x tend to 0 tan ax upon ax multiplied by a by b, and the answer is 1 multiplied by a by b is equals to a upon b. Next example. Evaluate limit x tend to 0 sin 3x divide by tan 5x. When we solve this, in numerator we need sin 3x upon 3x. So we divide numerator by 3x and multiply it by 3x. In denominator we need tan 5x upon 5x. So we'll divide by 5x and multiply it by 5x. And in numerator and denominator we'll cancel x by x. And now we have 1 multiplied by 3 divided by 1 multiplied by 5. And the answer is 3 by 5. Next example. Limit x tend to 0 sin x degree divided by x. We know that 180 degree equals to pi radian. So 1 degree equals to pi upon 180 and x degree equals to pi x upon 180. So limit sin pi x upon 180 divided by x. So multiply and divide by pi by 180. And we have answer 1 multiplied by pi by 180, which is equals to 1 degree. Next example. Limit x tend to 0 1 minus cos 2x divided by x square. We know the formula of 1 minus cos 2 theta is equals to 2 sin square theta. So limit x tend to 0 1 minus cos 2x divided by x square equals to limit x tend to 0 2 sin square x divided by x square. And we can write this way: limit x tend to 0 2 sin x upon x whole square, which equals to 2 multiplied by 1 equals to 2. Next example. Limit x tends to 0 1 minus cos 3x divided by 1 minus cos 5x. We know the formula of 1 minus cos 2 theta is 2 sin square theta. So now we have limit x tend to 0 1 minus cos 3x equals to 2 sin square 3x by 2 and 1 minus cos 5x equals to 2 sin square 5x by 2. We can write sin square 3x by 2 as sin 3x by 2 multiplied by sin 3x by 2. And to make it 1, we'll divide by 3x by 2, 3x by 2 and multiply by 9x square by 4. Similarly, in denominator, we'll write sin square 5x by 2 as sin 5x by 2 into sin 5x by 2. To make it 1, we'll divide by 5x by 2, 5x by 2 and multiply by 25x square by 4. And we'll get, after simplification, answer 9 by 25. Next example. Limit x tends to 0 tan x minus sin x whole divided by x cube. First we take common in numerator. Tan x is sin x upon cos x. So we'll take sin x common. When we take sin x common, we have sin x multiplied by 1 by cos x minus 1 whole divided by x cube. If we take LCM, we'll get cos x as LCM and 1 minus cos x whole multiplied by sin x upon cos x and the whole divided by x cube. Now limit x tend to 0 sin x upon cos x is 10x. 1 minus cos x we can write 2 sin square x by 2 or 2 sin x by 2 into sin x by 2. Now x cube x. Now to make it 1, divide by 2, divide by 2 and multiply by 4 in denominator and we get the answer after simplification 1 by 2. Now we'll solve some question of limits of trigonometry in which limit is not equal to 0. limit x tends to 1, 1 minus x 10 pi x by 2. To convert limit into 0, we take x equals to limit plus h. Put x equals to 1 plus h. X tends to 1, so s tends to 0. Now we have limit s tends to 0, 1 minus h, 10 pi by 2 into 1 plus h. After simplification, we will get minus h, 10 90 plus pi h by 2. 10 90 plus theta is minus cot theta. So we have limit s tends to 0, h into cot pi h by 2. The reverse of cot is 10. And now divide and multiply it by pi by 2. So we have in numerator pi h by 2 whole divided by 10 pi h by 2 and the whole multiplied by 2 by pi. And after simplification, answer is 2 by pi. Next example. Limit x tends to pi sin x upon x minus pi. Here again limit is not equal to 0. So we'll take x equals to pi plus h. X tends to pi, so s tends to 0. Limit s tends to 0, replace x by pi plus h. And we will get sin pi plus h divided by pi plus h minus pi. Sin 180 plus theta is minus sin theta. And answer is minus 1. Next example. Limit x tends to pi by 2. 1 minus sin x whole divided by pi minus 2x whole square. Put x equals to pi by 2 plus h. X tends to pi by 2, so s tends to 0. Limit s tends to 0, replace x by pi by 2 plus h. In denominator we will get pi minus 2h whole square. Sin 90 plus theta is cos theta. So we have 1 minus cos h upon 4h square. 1 minus cos h is 2 sin square h by 2. We can write this way, 2 sin h by 2 into sin h by 2. In denominator we can write 4h. To make it 1, we'll divide by 2 times and multiply by 4 in denominator. And after simplification, we'll get the answer 1 by 8. Next example. Limit x tends to 0, sin in bracket a plus 1 x plus sin x whole divided by x. First we separate this. We say limit x tends to 0, sin a plus 1 x whole divided by x plus sin x upon x. In the first part, we will divide by a plus 1 and multiply by a plus 1. And the second part remains same. And now we know that limit x tends to 0, sin x upon x equals to 1. So the answer is a plus 1 plus 1. So answer is a plus 2. Next example. Limit x tends to pi by 2, 1 minus sin cube x divided by 3 cos square x. Cos square x equals to 1 minus sin square x. So we have limit x tends to pi by 2, 1 minus sin cube x divided by 3 times of 1 minus sin square x. Now factorize this. A cube minus b cube is a minus b. A square plus ab plus b square. And a square minus b square is a minus b into a plus b. So now we will cancel 1 minus sin x in numerator and denominator both. And after putting x equals to pi by 2, we will get answer 1 plus 1 plus 1 divided by 3 times of 1 plus 1. And the answer is 1 by 2. Next example. Limit x tends to 0, x square plus x whole divided by 10 inverse x. First of all, we'll put x equals to 10 theta. So 10 inverse x equals to theta. Here x equal to 0, so theta tends to 0. Limit theta tends to 0, 10 square theta plus 10 theta whole divided by theta. Now we'll take 10 theta common. So limit theta tends to 0, 10 theta upon theta multiplied by 10 theta plus 1. And after putting limit, we'll get 1 multiplied by 0 plus 1, which equals to 1. Last example. Evaluate limit x tends to pi by 2. Cos x divided by pi minus 2x plus 3 times of 10 2x divided by 2x minus pi. Here again limit is not equal to 0. So we'll put x equals to pi by 2 plus h. X tends to pi by 2, so s tends to 0. Now we'll take limit s tends to 0 and replace x by pi by 2 plus h. We know that cos 90 plus theta is minus sin theta. So we have minus sin h upon minus 2h. Tan 180 plus 2 theta or 180 plus 2h. Then 180 plus 2h is tan 2h. So now we have in the second part tan 2h divided by 2h. And after simplification we get the answer 1 by 2 plus 3 which equals to 7 by 2.